everybody, it's me, your girl Mary, and I'm here just finishing up a day at Melvin's Mission supporting women survivors of homicide. Today I just want to talk about what is going on. I mean, it's like wild, wild west out here. 5 shootings in the same community, like in what, not even 2 weeks? It is not getting any better. It's getting absolutely ridiculous and crazy. And I just don't understand why we can't make a difference. Who is we? We is me, you, the community as a whole. Just people who are against all this crime and this violence and homicide. Where are we at? We have to come together and stand and try to find a way to devour this ridiculous crime, this criminal spree that is just manifesting in the inner city here in Boston. I can't believe it. Today at the program, I get a phone call. I find out that the latest shooting we had, the woman, she passed away. Then there was like 3 other shootings. We just did a burial. We're getting ready to do another burial, and then this woman has to be buried. And this just doesn't make sense to me. Like, where are our community leaders? Where are our religious organizations and just people in general who are against all this stuff? I mean, I'm willing to march. It doesn't matter. Just let me know. I'll be there. Tell me the date, the time, and the place. I'm down. I'm going. This just doesn't make any sense. All it does is just show self-hatred, and that people just don't love themselves, and we have to do that. We have to learn to, to love ourselves. This is just so sad, and it's so heartbreaking, and, my heart just goes out to these families because, I know where they are. I've been there. Though it's been 17 years for me, it doesn't make a difference. It's still like it happened yesterday. Time does not heal all wounds. But I just want to say this to everybody. Don't lose their faith, even in the midst of all this tragedy and these killings. Please, let's try to come together and let's try to find some solutions. We can't stop all the crime, that's for sure. But what we can do is we can try to prevent 1 or 2. If we can do that, we've done a great thing. And then be there for the aftercare, the after effects, like those women survivors of homicide who have now been created out of these 4 or 5 homicides we've had in one community. What's really sad to me? I was talking to someone this morning, and it's so sad, like how politicians, they only want to come out if there's a camera there, to put them in the spotlight. And that ain't right, man. Whether there's a camera there or not, whether there's 2, 3 people standing on a corner with signs saying they're against all this crime and all these shootings, politicians, leadership, elected officials, pastors, clergies, you should still be standing out there. This is not about grandstanding. It's not about you. It's about everybody. And it's about these communities that are suffering. So crazy this weekend. I'm like in my house, and I started counting how many sirens, just kept going by. By the time I added it up, before I retired for bed, there were 6 times a police car drove by my house with those sirens going. Now, something's not right about that. Do you see the pressure and the stress that is put on, whether it is minorities or people who live in the inner city or people who aren't rich? Do you see the stuff we go through? We pay mortgage, rent, bills, light, gas, like everybody else. But look what we must endure. That's crazy. 6 sirens going up and down my street all day long? That's ridiculous. Then one of the nights this weekend before I went to bed, I had heard about a young black male had got shot, in Mattapan. And first thing I did, and this is so crazy, but I do it, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I call my son because I want to make sure. Because it is my reality. It is your reality. This is how it is. So when I hear a young black male murdered, shot, I'm on that phone texting my baby, are you safe? And as long as he texts me back, mommy, I'm good, or whatever, yeah, I'm okay. A little stress is gone, but you know what? I'm still hurting because there's another mother somewhere whose child's not going to text her back and say he's good. There's other family members somewhere who's not going to get that text back to say that they're good because they're gone. They were just murdered. So people, please, we've got to find a solution. We've got to find a way. We've got to help. We've got to do more. It's just not making sense. And another thing is we need to stop saying that it is teenagers doing all this. Statistically, these are not 14 and 15-year-olds doing these shootings. These are young adults. They're not children, they're adults. They're in their 20s, 21, 25, 27. These are grown people. Lay off of the young people. Leave them alone. Stop putting them in these patterns. Stop categorizing all these young people. They're not all bad. Again, a lot of these shootings, these are adults doing this stuff. So what are we going to do? How are we going to make a difference? How are we going to make a statement? We've got to do something, everybody. I don't know about you, but I would hope we could call a community meeting here in Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, everywhere, Hyde Park, South End, wherever, and just folks come out who are concerned. And let's sit down and talk about different ways we can work with law enforcement, clergy, just everybody, the neighborhoods, the communities, so we could slow down some of this stuff here. It's saddening. It's sickening. It's hard to go on about your day because you don't know when that next shooting is going to occur. One more thing that I had an issue with this weekend was it is so crazy to me how a dog can be abused, undernourished. The owner just mistreating the dog dies. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. Every time you turn the news on, there's this dog. But then when a human being dies in some communities, you might get a 4-second flash up, a shooting so-and-so, a shooting here, a shooting there, a homicide here. But there's never no update about it. There's never no continuous, sympathetic or empathetic approach to those stories. I will never forget that poor dog that was abused. And I'm so sorry about that. I am an animal lover. And finally the dog had died. And I mean, it was on news for like 2 weeks, a month. And look, folks dying and carrying on. And it's like we got to call people to find out who just died. So it's sad. It's really sad, and we've got to start looking at the elephant that's always in the room, and that is racism and inequality. We really, really have to work on those two things because those things right there are the true issues to why a lot of this stuff is going on, and the reason why a lot of it is not being looked at like it should be. I'm one person, so are you, but if we come together, we can be two and more. So I'm going to let you go, just feeling really, not really anxious, but just feeling really wanting to get involved, just, motivated in a sense, and maybe plan a community meeting or something like that. If you have any ideas, or if there's a way you feel that you can help with some of this crime that's going on here in Boston inner cities, please, please hook me up, look me up, touch me, whatever you got to do. Get to my Facebook page at Melvin's Mission, supporting women survivors of homicide, and reach out and put some of your ideas on there about what you think we can do to eliminate and aftercare for those who are affected, because what we have, it's not enough. So this is Mary from Melvin's Mission, supporting women survivors of homicide. My prayers and thoughts go out to every single family that is affected by homicide and that has been affected by homicide. I'm thinking of you, and let's just figure this out. Let's find a way. Signing out, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace, love, and joy. Bye.